I'm about to give away a couple of trade secrets. This video is going to be about why most of the shaker cars that you see, air grabber, RAMCHARGER hood, Dodges, why the engine is basically stock. And most of the ones that you'll see. Take a look around. I bet that you won't see many that are modified too much. And the main reason being is that the air cleaner has a certain height that if you put an aftermarket intake on it, it's not going to clear the hood. In fact, this one's been dinged in the past, back when the 6-pack setup was on it. Like that carb stud there hit, that there, in 2 different places, which leads me to think that was with the 6-pack setup. So, we don't have the carbs rebuilt yet. They're right here. So in the meantime, we're going to run a Holley 850 double pumper and an Edelbrock Torker 2 intake manifold, which I think will be pretty comparable to the original 6-pack. If you listen to Uncle Tony's Garage, he says that 6-pack is actually rated at 975 CFM, not 1350 like what Chrysler said. But here's what we had to do to get the intake to clear the hood. First of all, this is a 69 intake. You can tell because the breather comes out right there. And the 70 valve covers. Your breather goes into the valve cover there. But the 70 440 Magnum would have had a small air cleaner like this. Boom, like that. All right, well, that's not going to flow any air compared to the 69 with the big filter. All right, so I'm going to take this thing off. I'm going to give you a really good tip on what was an original part that most people don't know. That you need to keep your engine from self-destructing if... Set that down over there. If your wing nut was to fall off, it's actually correct for the 69. In any engine that had the wing nut underneath like this. I had an air grabber set up back in the day, and it had a big washer like this, which would keep it from falling into the carburetor if by some odd chance it was to loosen up and fall off. You would not want a small wing nut like that, because that's going to go down, that's going to wipe your motor out. So I made this one. Just took a wing nut and welded it to a big washer. Anyway, as far as the air cleaner goes, you can see it's pretty customized looking. Reason being is because the factory 440 Magnum intake manifold like this is about that high. You get a Torker, it's an inch higher. I already measured it with a tape measure. So what I did was bought this air cleaner locally off Craigslist. Bought it for like $100. I mean, it was a pretty good deal. Came with the filter. I mean, that's a $100 filter. So this was the original base that was inside of it. Someone had hacked it up before, as you can see, probably for a high-rise intake manifold. This is what I took out of it. But I mean, it was pretty useless. They might as well just ran it without a filter. That's what I had. So what I did was I bought an air cleaner, just a good old used 4-barrel air cleaner. This is actually a Ford. It was off like a 70 Mustang or something. Just bought it off the local, online where people advertise used parts. So I bought it was a full air cleaner, and I just cut this piece out. And sorry. So it was basically modified to this outer base. Cut that out. I got this piece of 100 thousandths thick sheet metal, which is this right here. Just had this sitting around the garage. And one good thing that came about this is I have a nice cup holder now, so my steel table doesn't rust out every time I need to put a drink down. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah. This is a customized air cleaner base to fit the Holley 850 double pumper. And you can see that the Holley has your air bleeds, your typical stud in the middle. And this thing fits really good, and it's the correct height to fit under the hood without the lid being too tall to ding the hood. So technically, if that intake was painted orange, you wouldn't even know that it's modified. You know, and I'm pretty sure that Edelbrock Torker 2 is going to add, 30 horsepower, I'm guessing. We have ported heads, a mild cam. Just putting that on the ground, getting it out of the way. But, yeah, that's our setup right there. It's a 4-speed car, so we don't have the automatic linkage. Just squirted gas in there. I could probably start the car right now. I mean, technically the car does run. If we hook up the battery cable here, I've already run and driven it. I'm going to connect this ignition module wire right there. You'll see the light go on. Get out of the way. See, it'll run right now. I'm just jump starting it with this starter wire right here. I'm not going to start it right now, but the Super B is yeah, it's road ready. Seat out of the GTX. It's a 68 seat. It sits kind of funky in there. But the rear seats are done, ready to go. Front seats are in the works. Anyway, I just wanted to throw a quick video out there of the custom air cleaner that we did so we can run. There goes that battery. So we can run the Torker manifold and the Holley 850. I think it's going to run pretty close or comparable to the 6-pack. Put some comments below. One other thing I wanted to mention before I forget. When I was making the air cleaner, I considered doing just a regular aftermarket air cleaner base, which are a dime a dozen. And you can see the one off this Edelbrock, it just doesn't have the quality of the, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's like off of a Ford or a Chevy or a Chrysler, but the one that is in here, look, that's double rolled. That is that. And this has good quality. It's going to have good flow, good transition. I'm not going to fully weld it. I'm just going to put like some silicone around there to keep the air out. And another thing I wanted to bring up is like, look at this debacle. This is a car that's for sale on the internet, and I saw this, and they had converted it to air conditioning. There's a reason why the RAMCHARGER cars didn't have AC. Look what they did to the fiberglass ducting under the hood with that air conditioning unit. I mean, you think they just slammed it down and tried to make it work? Anyway, yeah, that's about it. One last thing. The 4-barrel cars, the spacing on this is the same as the Hemi cars. So the lid would work on a Hemi or a 4-barrel car, 1969 only. But obviously you have the 4-barrel base plate here. And so I welded grade 8 nuts on here and then screwed these in, and these are like lock nuts to hold them in place. So if anybody's trying to do a setup like this, see how it clears the air bleeds and everything? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll have the car running here pretty quick and we'll post a video of that.